Number three is a man that has been here for a long time, but has a pretty recent nickname, FYI, right? It took us a while to dial it in, but at number three is the Shaman, Nadim Shah. Welcome to the show, number three, my friend.
Thank you, Pablo. Thank you, Gregg. Hi, everyone.
Nadim, we
Yes, sir.
want to ask you, you look much younger than you are, right? Like everyone's always shocked, right? Because you look so good at this age, man. But I know that when we talk to folks, the number one thing I always hear is, oh, yeah, great. Real estate, awesome. If I would have done this 10, 20 years ago. You want to tell us a little bit about your experience of like at your age, making this an asset class that you invest in and like how the show fits into that?
Yeah. So one day, my son-in-law, he sends me a link and he says, listen to it. So I click on that link and it's JWB. And I said, okay. So I listened and I thought about it. And then the next day they asked me, say, what did you think? I say, interesting. So Keith Weinhold was on your show, and I listened to him. And after the show, well, before the show was over, he said real good stuff about JWB. And I said, I have to check these guys out. So I asked if I can join JWB chat and webinars, and that's what I did. And I listened to you all for about maybe 4 to 5 months. And then I decided, okay, it's time to buy my first rental property. So I dived in and I bought my first rental property. I think that was in 21. And then I've been pretty steady, on this show. I love all the people here. I learned from all the people here. I learned from Gregg. I learned from Pablo. I learned from Lee, Jan Filton, Ken, and, a lot of good experienced investors in here. I'm just a baby. I'm a newbie. So anyway, then in 2022, I bought my second property. And after that, I went ahead and I, spread my wings a little bit. I bought a property in Texas. I bought a property in California. I bought a property in Arkansas. Denny, I know you are in Arkansas. The property I have is in Cabot, Arkansas. So since then, I went in partnership with my son-in-law and my daughter, and we bought a fourplex and we bought an 18-unit apartment building.
Congratulations.
Go.
Thank you. And my plan for this year is to add 2 more properties to my portfolio. And one is going to be with JWB, and the other one I haven't decided yet. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Wow. Well, congratulations.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Thank
What a
you.
story there. And if I think about what drives me on this show is, bringing access to this asset class to everyday people. And when people can understand this asset class, it should have a seat at the table in their financial portfolio. So what brings me to just getting excited is, listen, people don't have to buy all of their properties from JWB, but when that starts to click in your head and you're like, I can have rental properties in my portfolio. And then they start to build out their portfolio. And many times that's with JWB, but many times that's with, different places in the country too. That is a huge success of this show. So I'm so excited. I'm curious for you, Nadim. You had your son-in-law who kind of brought you in and said, hey, listen to this. Then you did your own due diligence for about 4 or 5 months listening to the show. Do you remember maybe one thing that stood out to you and said, hey, listen, this makes a lot of sense. I want to add 30 or some properties over the next few years to my portfolio because of this. What was maybe the 1 or 2 messages that resonated the most with you?
Well, the 5 profit centers.
We hear that a lot.
Yes. So that was the main thing. And, me investing in property, I like to see a little bit of cash flow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what JWB gave me.
It's perfect. As soon
And
as we could help people see the big picture about how this pays you more than other assets typically pay you, or different 5 different ways, that made sense. And then to be able to satisfy the cash flow needs through this asset class, which is hard to do in many other places that people are investing.
Super inspirational, Nadim. We talk a lot about folks and their JWB portfolio, but there's also a large contingency of people that this is just the door in, right? Like they start investing this way, they fall in love with real estate, become more active or diversify across the country, but it's really all about education, right? Like again, not to talk about myself all the time, but I'm that story. I'm going now into a more active investment role, buying my primary resident, being the landlord to the duplex next door. And the idea that this is a gateway for people, I think is great. Like for real estate and education.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah. Nadim, you're the man, sir. Congratulations on your Washington Huskies, my friend. I hope,
thank
I
you.
hope you
Thank
bring
you.
home a national championship.
We will do it again next Monday.
There you go.
All right,
See
buddy.
you, Nadim.
We'll see you soon,
Thanks,
man.
buddy.
Thank you.